Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Tech Pulse, and today we have a very special guest with ourselves. We are talking to Preeti Lobana, VP and Country Manager, Google India. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
How do you feel about it, the journey so far?
Oh, first of all, the energy today has been just amazing to see. You know, the developers are giving this vibrant atmosphere. So yes, it's the fourth IO Connect, but as you know, we've been here in India partnering with India for 20 plus years now. And we've been part of India's journey as the digital economy has evolved. You know, every critical inflection and milestone, we've been there with India. My takeaway is, one, we are very firmly in the agentic era. So, you know, just in the last 2-3 years, where we've seen the evolution of AI from being a chatbot or being a co-pilot where you have to type in prompts to now the agentic era where it's now having a co-worker on 24/7 by your side, and moving developers from typing syntax to building autonomous agents. That's one. Two is, you know, what is really great to see is that with Gemini now, you know, being available in Google Air Gap solution, now highly regulated industries can also use frontier AI models and yet be compliant with whatever the domestic requirements are. Because the physical airlock that we provide as a solution here, there is no connection with the public internet, which means that the risks of data leaks and all are minimized, while you have the capacity to process with low latency, high processing, and so on. And lastly, you know, just overall the focus on trust, safety, security is how we built everything into our design right from, you know, grounds up. That continues to be a critical force and will be very key to more adoption even in the agentic era.
Now, with local developers and enterprises, how has the, I'll say, vibe been so far? Because vibe coding is something that you are promoting very aggressively in India with Google. How has the vibe been so far?
I think, look, for us, India is a powerhouse of talent and innovation. And you have heard me say this, I and Google are really deeply optimistic about our future in the field of AI. So for us, our mantra is, how do we power this local talent with the capabilities? So whether it is bringing our full stack approach. So it is the infrastructure and TPUs and compute which is critical. It is about bringing our frontier AI models. It is about having the specific tooling on top, you know, and then the power of Google's ecosystem of Android, Play, market access, because developers may have a fantastic idea, but that partnership that is needed to take that idea to full scale, where we help them find users, where we help them monetize, is something we are deeply committed to. You know, to grow this community, one of the key things was, how do we upskill? So, and we looked at what the requirements in tier 2 and tier 3 Indian cities were. So, you know, we have run this program called Prompt to Prototype, and we had 90,000 registrations, by the way. 50% of those came from tier 2 and tier 3 cities like Jaipur and Kochi and Indore, because it is not about just having developers in the big cities building the coolest apps. It is making sure that it's equitably spread out.
The exploration phase is there, but the building phase has now started.
We have moved firmly from experimentation and proof into active building, and it is just amazing to see. Coreover, right? Look at them. They are on Gemini Vertex, and they have Bharat GPT as a solution. Yes. And they are providing, you know, voice as well as text solutions, because India is not as a country heavy on just text. People want voice assistance as well. And they're working with IRCTC and partners like that, which has something like 25 million daily users.
Yes. Paying market in India still remains smaller. It has always been a challenge for every company, including Google's. How do you see this growing? Like, how do you see this model growing moving forward? And are you seeing a trend where consumers are now open to pay up for these services, a regular customer as well?
So, for us, like I'll tell you again, the North Star is that it's AI for all. And how do we make sure that AI is available both to the users who are free, who don't want to pay or do not have the capacity to pay? And then how do we make sure we have the right sort of subscription models for the paying customers and for enterprises? So I'll give you an example. We were very happy through our offer for students last year. We were really thrilled to have 2 million Indian students sign up for a free offer where they had access to Gemini Pro Notebook LM, which is like an amazing feature of our AI, very helpful for students, professionals alike, which also helped for those who are preparing for NEET or JEE entrance exams. That's also something that we made available. One thing, Dhruv, you'll agree with me, you cannot take the Indian consumer for granted or predict they'll behave this way or that way. And our ethos as Google is meet the consumer where they are. I think if that North Star and the right headspace of balance it keeps guiding us, we'll land in the right place.
And if you're building for consumers, you will automatically win. That's what Google has done over time.
Consumers adopt when the right product market fit, which makes your life easier, more productive, takes the grunt work out, gives you the free time back to do the stuff that you really want to work on. Or somebody like me, many people who don't have a creative bone in their bodies can now leverage Gemini. And it is so multimodal, right? The power of Gemini is its multimodality. And VO3, the ability to create images and great videos, it allows people to do so much and build not for their own pleasure, but also for commercial. So like I said, the right use case and you find the right users.
Absolutely. That brings us to the future. Now we are already half a year into 2026. We have seen a host of big announcements, and we are sure that the next month also we are seeing some hardware announcements coming from you. Pixel 11, the announcements are already in. What else can we expect?
I think the way I think about it, Dhruv, is for me, it's not just about a moment in time, about an announcement. Like I said, the mantra is really, where is the consumer? Let's meet them through our full stack, hardware, software, AI models, open models. Let me talk a little bit about Gemma, our open source models. So, we announced it on stage as well. And this has just been done recently. But the National Health Authority took our Gemma 4 model and our open source medical data toolkit to kind of build and relaunch the Arogya Setu 2.0 app. And that is going to take unstructured lab reports, etc., and convert those into very structured medical records. Now, something like that, which is going to be used by the wider Indian ecosystem, is driving India's journey forward in leveraging AI, not just in the world of, say, payments. Our proud moment is the digital public infrastructure and UPI. But imagine if now the tech stack comes alive. So we are continuing to think about that. It is for us, it is about, and equally, the one thing that we keep in mind, whether it is announcements we made or what lies ahead in the next 6 months, it is easy to take a model developed overseas and say, let's deploy it here. For it to truly be adopted and be useful for India and Indians, it has to understand our cultural context and our language. So we are delighted that Gemini Live now supports 25 plus languages, and dialects, including Maithili, Bhojpuri. And I know this is a very niche use case, Sanskrit as well. And I'll encourage you to try the different languages on Gemini Live. It is super powerful because building on that core capability of local Indian and cultural context and the language capability and combine it with multimodality, Indian developers are very innovative and they will build the use cases, which is not just useful for India, but as we say, build for India, from India, but also built for the world.
Absolutely. So we can safely say that the playground is set, the playground
Absolutely.
is growing, and we have to play in it.
Absolutely,
basically.
absolutely. And we invite Indian developers to be innovative, bold, and we are partnering with you every step of the way. Like I said, infrastructure.
Absolutely. You've heard it from the source. And on that note, we would end this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
talking
so
to us.
much
It's
for
always a
talking to
pleasure.
me.